Hey guys, Ernie here and welcome to the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Now I've never counted, but I'd guess probably the most frequently reviewed type of stove here on the channel is a canister stove or an upright canister stove. This is the kind of stove that screws right onto the top of an isobutane canister, and there's tons of them out there, tons of them being put out all the time, and I just can't seem to get enough of them. They are light, they're compact, they're packable, and today's version is no exception. Stay tuned. I think you're going to be impressed with this stove. I certainly was. And it's not, even though it looks like your typical stove, it sure performed pretty darn well. Stay tuned, guys. Now, over the years, I've developed quite a good relationship with the company Fire Maple. Fire Maple makes a lot of different outdoor products. They've been very generous to the channel over the last 3 or 4 years. They've sent quite a few products to me. Not necessarily for review. They've never asked for reviews specifically. They might have asked for a review of one particular product, but usually they just either send me a box of stuff and they say, hey, hope you enjoy this stuff. We know you love it. They know I'll probably make reviews if I like their stuff. Or they will send me a list and say, hey, look, we're putting out 4, 5, 6 new products. Are any of these interested, or do any of these look interesting to you? That's what the case was with this particular stove. I'm always looking for new stoves. They know that. And they said, hey, do you want to try out this one? And I said, absolutely. Let me show you guys what it is. Then we'll boil some water and we'll talk about it. Okay, so we have got another canister stove. This one is from Fire Maple, known as the Torch Gas Stove. Comes in this pretty cool little case. I mean, it is thick cardboard. You could totally store it in this, and I will definitely store it in this. Oh, look that. It passed quality control. Y'all see that? It's good to know. So the actual stove is this. It does come with some instructions, and there we go. So this is the Torch Gas Stove. We'll open it up for you guys real quick. Has the control knob, and then these just pop out very simply. They do lock into place, which is actually very, very nice. It is designed to use with their petrol pot system, or this tripod stove sits inside and it kind of nests inside of the pot. We'll actually be doing our boil test today with that pot to give it its best chance, since it was designed to use that. Folded down, it is 2.2 by 3, and unfolded like this, it is 4.5 by 3 inches. It weighs a very impressive 2.1 ounces, guys. 2.1 ounces, including the piezo igniter. I mean, that's pretty strong. Made out of stainless steel, aluminum, and copper. From the standpoint of power, it is very respectable, I think, for a compact canister stove like this at 7,165 BTU. It's made in China for $15.95. 2.1 ounces. Pretty impressive. It looks new. It is not new. I have actually boiled with this thing quite a few times, and it's I like it, guys. I really do like it. You can see some of the staining here. This looks brand new, but anyway, very, very nice stove. A couple of highlights. It is ultralight and ultra compact. It has the built-in piezo igniter, like I said. I don't know if you can see it. I think you can just see it on there. Claims to be wind resistant just because it has this little lip here. And you can see when we tilt it like that, that the actual burner is down underneath that lip. It's not going to be super wind resistant, but it is better than some. You can see the pattern of the actual burner there. It fits easily inside of almost any pot, but not probably inside of this. Well, probably not inside of this, but it will fit easily inside of any pot. And it has a nice large fuel knob, which is good. Some fuel knobs now, they're really small. When you're in the cold and you're having to manipulate this with gloves on in particular, it can be a little more challenging. So it's nice to have these big loop type control knobs. I'm going to take this thing outside, show you guys the flame pattern, show you how easy it is to control the power. We actually have pretty good flame control with this. Good control of how much gas is going through the stove, and therefore how much power is coming out. After that, we're going to boil 2 cups of water. We'll see how long it takes and see how much fuel it uses. Then we'll come back, talk a little bit about the stove, pros and cons, I think you guys are really going to like this stove. I have enjoyed using it so far. So let's do a little review here. 1:59 seconds for 2 cups of water with 4 grams of fuel used. That's not a lot of gas used and is lower than I think any other stove I've ever used. So I did it 2 more times. The second time I did it, it was 5 grams of fuel. And I thought, I did it a third time and it was 4 grams of fuel. So maybe we'll average it out. 4.5 grams of fuel for 2 cups of water. The second time it wasn't 1:59 seconds, it was 2 minutes 7 seconds. But the third time was 1:59 seconds on the money again. So pretty impressive, I would say very impressive numbers. So that's a quick look at this stove. We're gonna talk pros and cons, starting with the pros. It is super lightweight. It's super small. It includes a piezo igniter at 2.1 ounces. Most of the time when you're looking for a ultra light stove, it is not going to mess around with a piezo igniter. It's going to say, hey, look, you want to save weight. We're not including one of these little devices. You just figure out a way to light it on trail. And the price is pretty impressive as well. Now there are cons associated. There's other benefits, but those are the kind of the main pros for me. Cons, there are a couple. We'll start with the carrying case, or in this case, a carrying cardboard box tube thing. I think that's great. I actually like the cardboard better than, say, just a regular old little nylon bag. At the end of the day, what I want is something with structure, something that will help this stove not damage anything around it in your bag. I don't like the cardboard. I prefer plastic, so I do think it's a con that it is that way. It's fairly low on power and it's not resistant to the wind. Now that's the same for all these types of stoves, so it doesn't necessarily is a knock on this. Now something like the Soto Windmaster, you can imagine that a name like Windmaster is going to be a lot better with the wind, but it's going to be a lot more expensive as well. This stove is high value. It's pretty low weight. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. I mean, the performance we got out of this stove is amazing. I don't know why. I've reviewed a lot of these stoves. If you look at the flame pattern, it doesn't look particularly different. That's why I thought, well, maybe something's wrong. So I went ahead and redid the tests and I got the same results. So either way, 4 to 5 grams, pretty impressive. Now, if you're looking for a cheap beginner stove, this is a great one to have. If you're wanting to buy one stove and use it for year after year after year, I would recommend, honestly, I would recommend the MSR Pocket Rocket 2, mainly because it has a hard plastic case. If you're not worried about the case, then the Soto Windmaster, as far as performance, is probably the very best one. If you're going to be in windy conditions, Soto Windmaster, best all around for the price, Pocket Rocket 2. If you're looking for a cheap version and you're willing, like with any gear, if you take good care of your stuff, if you don't mess around with it, it will last a long time. This stove, the pot stands are easily bendable. I mean, they're not easily bendable, but you can bend them. Like, you got to work at it, but it's not going to be a shock. If you mess around in the bag, you put it in the wrong spot and it bends, you're not going to be like, oh, wow, I can't believe it bent. No, you can feel it. They'll bend. So if you're looking for something beginner, cheap, that you can use no matter what, this is a perfect. If you want something long-term, you want one stove, you want to use it for a long time, get something different. That's not a knock on this stove. Understand, I'm not knocking this stove. It is a cheap stove, made fairly cheaply, but also doesn't cost a lot of money. So it just depends on what you're looking for and being upfront and honest. It's cheap in a good way, if that makes any sense. And even though the materials and the build quality is not perfect, it's definitely good. It's just what you expect for the price point you're paying for this stove. When you look at this stove, if you hold up a Soto Windmaster and you hold it in your hand and you hold this stove, You can feel the difference. Of course you can, because one of them is $80 and one of them is $20. You pay for something, right? Y'all get what I mean. Once again, I think Fire Maple has created a product that is very reasonable for the price, does the job, in this case, very, very well, and I appreciate their support of this channel. What do you guys think? That's what's most important. Do you think this stove is great? You think it's horrible? Would you pick it up? Would you not? Do you agree with my concept of this type of stove versus one stove you'd buy, maybe spend a little bit more money? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up down below. Hit the subscription button. Really would be helpful if y'all did that. I appreciate it. I don't have a huge audience because of the things that I do. I'm not Mr. Beast or Casey Neistat, who's amazing. I'm not that kind of YouTuber. I do a very kind of a niche product, a niche thing, and I appreciate you guys being here for that. I do have a stove playlist, so make sure you check it out down below. 220, 230 videos at this point. That's going to continue to grow over time because I do love reviewing stoves. So if you're looking for any type of stove, first off, check that playlist. If it's not on there and you want me to review it, leave me a comment down below and I'll try to pick it up and check it out for you guys. As always, I appreciate you checking out the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Stay tuned for more videos soon.